Hello, my name is Dr. Diwan S. Raja. Today I will discuss about the types of joints in the upper limb. We'll start from the pectoral girdle. So number one is the sternoclavicular joint. This is a saddle type of synovial joint. Articulations. The clavicular notch of the manubrium sterni, and the sternal end or the medial end, same thing, or the medial end of the clavicle. Okay, we got that. So this is our manubrium sterni, and there is a joint between this is the clavicular notch here, and this is the manubrium sterni. This is the sternal end or medial end of the clavicle. This is the joint. This is a saddle type of synovial joint. Okay, we got that. Now we'll go to the number 2 is the acromioclavicular joint. Acromioclavicular joint. Acromioclavicular joint. This is a plain type of synovial joint. Plain type or variety of synovial joint. Articulations. Okay, the medial border of the acromion process, okay, of the scapula. So there is a notch in the medial border of the acromion process of the scapula, and the lateral end of the clavicle. Okay, we may call also acromial end. Okay, so this is the scapula. This is the acromion process, medial border. There's a notch here, and there is joint between this. This is the joint. Okay, so check this is the right scapula. So you have to go here. This is the acromioclavicular joint. Okay, right clavicle, right scapula. Okay, we got that. And this is an example of plain type of synovial joint. Okay, we got that. Now we'll go to the shoulder joint or glenohumeral joint. Number 3 is the glenohumeral joint, also called shoulder joint. Okay, this is a ball and socket variety of synovial joint. This is a ball and socket variety of synovial joint. Okay, and articulations. Articulation between the glenoid cavity of the scapula. There is a socket and the head of the humerus. There is the ball. So this is a ball and socket variety of synovial joint. So this is the right humerus, and if you go to the, this is the right scapula. Okay, acromion process is anterior, spine of the scapula is posterior. This is the costal surface, and this is the glenohumeral joint. This is the ball, this is a socket, this is a glenoid cavity, head of the humerus. Okay, so we got the glenohumeral joint. Now we'll go to the elbow joint. Elbow joint. Elbow joint is a hinge type of synovial joint. Hinge variety of synovial joint. Okay, we got that. Elbow joint. Articulations between the humerus and ulna. We call it humero-ulnar articulation and humero-radial articulation. Okay, so humero-ulnar between the trochlea of the humerus and the trochlear notch of the ulna. Trochlear notch of the ulna. Okay, we got that. So here we have the humerus, this is the trochlea, and this is the trochlear notch. So this is flexion, extension, this is the olecranon process of the ulna, and this is the trochlear notch. So we got the humero-ulnar joint. If another one is the humero-radial joint between the capitulum of the humerus and the upper articular fovea of the radius. Okay, so the upper end of the radius, if you look at that, okay, upper end radius, this is the articular fovea. This will articulate with that of the capitulum. This is the capitulum, this is the trochlea, capitulum. This is articulation, flexion, extension, we go there, flexion, extension. Okay, this is that. This is the radial notch, it should be medially, and this is the styloid process of the radius. Okay, so this is the flexion, this is the extension. Okay, we got that. The elbow joint. Now we'll go to the superior radio-ulnar joint. Superior radio-ulnar joint. This is the superior radio-ulnar joint. This is a pivot type of synovial joint. Type of synovial joint. Okay. Articulation between the circumferential articular surface or circular articular surface to the radial notch of the ulna. Okay, so if we go there, this is that, to the radial notch of the ulna here, not the ulna, this is the circular articular part of the upper end of the radius. This is the superior radio-ulnar joint. We got that. So radial notch of the ulna and the circular articular surface at the upper part of the radius. This is pivot type of synovial joint. Then we'll go to the inferior radio-ulnar joint, the head of the ulna. So you got that. So this is the ulnar notch of the radius, and this is the head of the ulna. This is that. Okay, articulation. This is the inferior radio-ulnar joint. You got that. Now we'll go to the wrist joint. Wrist joint. Wrist joint. This is ellipsoid type of synovial joint. Okay. Articulations between the lower articular surface of the radius and the scaphoid lunate and triquetral bone, triquetral carpal bones. and an articular disc. Articular disc. Okay, we got the wrist joint. Now we go to the intercarpal joints. Intercarpal joints, we have the 8 carpal bones, the scaphoid, lunate, triquetral, pisiform, trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, hamate. So they will have the joint, intercarpal joint. Okay, we have joint between the proximal row. We have a central cavity between the proximal and distal row, joint between the carpal bone on the distal row, and they are plain synovial joints. Okay, we got the intercarpal joint. Now we go to the carpo-metacarpal joint. First, carpo-metacarpal joint. Metacarpal joint is a joint for the thumb. Okay, for the thumb. Okay, this is between the carpal bone, the trapezium, and first metacarpal. Okay, this is a saddle type of synovial joint. Okay, we have second, third. Okay, at 10, number 10. Second, third, fourth, and fifth carpo-metacarpal joint. Okay, these are going for the index finger, for the middle finger, the ring finger, for the little finger. These are actually plain synovial joints. Okay, we got that, number 10. Okay, then we'll go to number 11 here. Okay, that is metacarpophalangeal joint. Metacarpophalangeal joints. Okay, between the metacarpal bone and the proximal phalanx. Metacarpal bone and the proximal phalanx. Okay, these are condylar type of synovial joints. Okay, we got that. Then we'll go to the interphalangeal joints. Interphalangeal joints. To remember that, in the thumb we have only one interphalangeal joint between the proximal phalanx and distal phalanx. In other fingers we have two interphalangeal joints between the proximal phalanx, middle phalanx, one, middle phalanx, distal phalanx, one more. So we have two interphalangeal joints, and in the thumb we have one interphalangeal joints. They are hinge type of synovial joint. Synovial joints. And that's all about the types of joints in the upper limb. If you like my video, please support my channel. Please subscribe me. Share the information with your friends and have a nice day. Bye now.